y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be sharing with you my top 8 brown girls friendly foundations. They are my holy grail. I will never stop using them till the day I die, unless you come up with a new formula, which is better. But yeah, I will be doing another video on my drugstore favorite foundations. Today I'm gonna be showing you my high-end ones, but I will have a video for my drugstore foundations because there's actually amazing foundation from the drugstores. And if you want to know what my favorite high-end foundations are, which are brown girl approved, please keep on watching. But before that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also hit the thumbs up button. Please go do it. Thank you. And last but not the least, hit that notification bell so you can be the first one to be notified when I upload my video. Alright, so my first foundation, you have seen me use this like many times on my channel. This has to be my top favorite foundation of all time, which is this right over here. And this is going to be the Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation, and this is my favorite foundation of all time. This is, I would say, this literally feels like skin, but it has amazing coverage. Like, it has full coverage. Like, this boy will get you all the coverage that you need. I would say it's medium to full coverage, and it's not too drying. But I would say this can be leaning towards more on the dry side. So for oily girls, for dry skin girls, I would definitely put a heavy load of moisturizer on before trying this. Also using like a primer that's more hydrating before using this foundation. And also the shade range, I feel like the undertone is just perfect for me. I have not found a foundation where the undertone is this perfect for me. And this shade that I use is Cardamom 32. And the next foundation is this right over here. This is the Lancome Taunty Doll Ultra Wear Foundation. This literally feels like you're not wearing anything on your skin. You get full coverage, definitely medium to full coverage on this. I feel like the color range is amazing. That's why I love this foundation so much, because you can find your shade in here. And I feel like the undertone is actually good for us brown skin girls. Our undertone is yellow or olive, and sometimes foundations are just red or they're pink and they're just not the right undertone. And I feel like Lancome really did us right, okay? It really did us right. Shade that I use is 435 Bisque W. And for my oily skin girls, I'll definitely use a loose powder with this foundation, because this will give you a soft matte finish. This is not like full matte. This gives me more of like a skin finish. So I would definitely use loose powder for my oily skin girls. Alright, the next foundation is this right over here. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. And y'all, this foundation is full coverage. Like, there's nothing medium about this foundation. It's full coverage. Straight on. If you like a good cake face, I love a good cake face. This is it, okay? This will stay on your face for the whole day. Like, it will not move. It will not budge. And the coverage is amazing, but it does get a little drying, I'm not gonna lie. So if you are a dry skin girl, I would definitely use a very hydrating moisturizer and a primer. But other than that, this is amazing. I personally feel like I love this foundation because I am oily, and I feel like this is perfect if I am going to any kind of event, like outdoor event, it's a summer event, my foundation has to really stay in place. I definitely wear this. Any kind of events that you're gonna be sweating, dancing, or like weddings, other celebrations like that, I'll definitely go for this foundation. This foundation is definitely heavy, but I do not feel it on my skin. And I'm in the shade 4W4 Hazel in this. Alright, next foundation is this right over here. This is the Huda Beauty foundation. And yo, this stuff, I'm actually wearing this on my skin. Your skin will look literally airbrushed with this foundation. Like, no joke. Look at this. I actually have this and this one mixed together. The Anastasia one and this one mixed together. I love this foundation so much. I personally like wearing a bit of like a dewy foundation with this, because I feel like this can be super full coverage and matte. As I'm growing up, I'm like leaning like less likely towards matte, but I still love this foundation because I can mix it in with other foundations, and I feel like it just looks so beautiful on the skin. Like, your face will look airbrushed and flawless with this foundation. You can't really do wrong with this, and this is gonna definitely give you full coverage. You can't like make it medium. Like, you know, some foundations are buildable. This is definitely not buildable. This is definitely full coverage and boom. Like, that's it. And on this foundation, I'm in the shade Gingerbread 430N. All right, so the next foundation is the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. This has to be one of my favorite foundations ever, and this is gonna be a full coverage foundation. I wouldn't say it's buildable either, like the Huda Beauty one. This is gonna be like straight on full coverage. It definitely feels like you're not wearing anything on your face. That's what I love about it. It's full coverage, but you don't feel like you have anything on your face. I think the shade range is actually pretty great, and I feel like Urban Decay does a good job of, like, you can actually find undertones that will match you. And I'm in the shade 8.75 in this. All right, so the next one is right over here. You already guessed it. This is a really good foundation. This is the Fenty Beauty foundation. This is the soft matte longwear foundation. The Pro Filter one. This is not the matte one. This is the soft matte one. And I love this one because it's soft matte. Like, if you like a good, like full glam, but you don't want it to be too heavy, this is gonna be it. And it's not too mattifying. It's just the perfect amount of matte. You know, like if you want to make it more matte, you can put a little bit of loose powder, but honestly, with this kind of foundation, if you don't want to, you don't have to. And it's definitely a buildable coverage. That's what I love about this, because it's buildable. It's not, you can do medium coverage if you want to, or full if you want to. It's like, depending on the day, you can wear this whenever you want, because you can build up to any kind of levels. And also Fenty does such a good job of like finding the right undertone for us brown girls, because this perfectly actually matches my skin tone. Like, this actually like perfectly matches my skin tone because it gives me like a yellow olive undertone, which is for my undertone. I feel like the shade range Fenty foundations are amazing. You will find a shade, and I feel like they do a really good job with undertones also. For this one, I'm in the shade 345. All right, so my last two foundations are gonna be more dewy, on the dewy side. And these two foundations, I love mixing in with my matte ones, or sometimes, I barely wear them alone, honestly. I will always mix in with matte foundation. And the first one is gonna be this right over here. This is the Tarte Face Tape Foundation. And I love it. Like, I honestly thought I wouldn't like it at first, but after I tried it on, it is amazing. And I always mix it in with Bare Pro foundation, and it gives me such a beautiful coverage and finish. Like, I sometimes don't want like full-on matte, and that's when I use this and the other foundation, and it gives me such a beautiful coverage. Do I like it alone? Yes, but the thing is that it can get a little too dewy for my face since I am oily, but I feel like for dry skin girls, I feel like they would love this because it gives you like a dewy finish. And with this foundation, you can definitely find your shade because they have a good load of shade range to pick from, and I'm in the shade 447S Tan Deep Sand. All right, last foundation. I love this foundation, honestly. This year, and I am in love, and it's the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation. It gives you such a beautiful finish. And this can be a little too dewy for me. I mean, it does say it's a luminous foundation, so it's gonna be a dewy foundation. But since I am oily, I always mix this in with something else. I usually mix this in with either my Bare Pro foundation or my Huda Beauty one, which I did today. Like, I used this too for my foundation today, and it just gives me that perfect, healthy glow. It's not too matte. I feel like this foundation just balances the matte out, and I just love the finish this gives. Like, I love this, like, so much. It gives me such a beautiful glow, and just, it makes it look like airbrushed, you know? A lot of dry skin girls will love this foundation more than oily because I feel like it is a luminous finish. For this foundation, I'm in the shade 365C. But yeah, guys, that completes my foundations. These are my top 8 Holy Grail foundation. They're amazing, and I will probably never stop using them, honestly. And I feel like the undertones are beautiful. I feel like any brands that's creating like foundations right now, they really need to look at the undertone, because undertone matters, y'all. Like, I'm telling you, undertone matters, because it will look so off with the neck if the undertone is not right. Undertones can either break or make your foundation and your whole face, dude. If the undertone ain't matching, you look like shit. Just saying. So that completes my video for today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you came this far, you're freaking amazing.